in Komobana and you, simple. Should people who work in the house of God, especially omuye instrumentalist, musician, should they be paid or should they not be paid? If you must see a voluntary service to God, if you must see a voluntary service to God, and say why you were coming, say who yanyami juma when yami fee na sorry nkoso wano and who here say yentia woka. Ebi must see David. These people are working stress say omuye ejumayefo. Ewa sorry honomino. Some churches have 4 services during the week. Sunday over 2 hours be. Nancy grana 2 hours. It used to be 4 or 5 hours. Some Sunday over 2 hours be. Wednesday midweek service another 2 hours. Friday all night another 2 hours. That is 6 hours. 6 hours. Independent wa bari hezalo. Ebia 3 hours be. So basically, this person is in the church 10 hours a week. 10 hours a week times 4 is about 40 hours. Or they were them the year rehearsals, the bonsenku, the bodundo. And then when the month ends, we can try to say, onfa the empty fingers and coffee, sir. Well, you started last week, no, in Komobonu and Yui. And until na mafrom and ne, you besan to your 2 minutes, and I opened the phones for us to start this discussion.
Show with your host Halifax and Addo on OK 101.7 FM.
Of course, until what I would see of ye, over to me and send a message. What I will share on Facebook, OK 101.7 FM. Your questions, comments, suggestions, criticisms. And I believe we can express our differences without insulting each other. Now, last Wednesday, man, to me on for calls. And Luti Trimpo na misi de bien nayentu an komobono so. We are sofo, who are comments, who are questions, your beautiful lines na our free. We instrumentalists were sorry. What bossa omuntia woka. How do you feel? And now ebia wu jikitu ebi ba wo feel say oh ensheda ntwe. Meanwhile, we are no didi. Woko bo shabo wo club and now woko bogi go baby ende omotua wo ka yie. Ba wo ba sorry fie dia. No mo me come deal. Meanwhile, the pastor says, men ko bo wo club. Men ko bo riasifo anyom. Men ko bo masi we. Men ko bo masi we. Your talent is to serve in the house of God. Serve on an empty stomach. And say, I really want to hear from you what you think and how we should go about this topic. Who should be paid in the house of God? Who is offering a voluntary service? Who is actually working? Let me start with a phone call to my one and only brother. I'm in Kancha, Papa Amiki. Oh, yes, also. Nah, he's been in church organizing for quite a while. And he has interesting ideas. Councillor Odroth.
Hey, Halifax.
Morning.
Morning, it's okay.
Nyimbo drumona. Me too won't check akra.
Oh, no, I'm working. Maybe not because so far in Ghana, there's no other councillor in this country except me. the rest are students who are wasting air time.
Sir?
And hypocrites with title. There's no other councillor in this
Hey,
state.
inti omwa.
Forget the rest and use the best. I'm here.
Inti omwa work council mu certificate a obi am bani omui. Who see omu nye councillors?
Now, one of it's not banning nobody can do it. Then it will become bloody. We'll forget about it. Nobody can ban anybody. When we talk about bloody, it's not going to be a physical fight. it will become a spiritual fight, and we eliminate to subtract. We eliminate to subtract.
Hey, kawawa be so elimination baby me there my infin see how why. Councillor Lutrot, yeah, that's to say your friend wapne so when you be bon come 1 or 2 on this topic. The discussion started last Wednesday. People who work in the house of God, church workers, particularly creative as people who are into media, instrumentalists, vocalists, choristers, should they be paid or should they not be paid? Let me say,
let me say a cherished good morning to your discerning listeners and viewers. They are supposed to be paid. The word is they are supposed to be paid.
Supposed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They are not supposed to expect any form of income from heaven. That's one. The reason being that if you think that the sound is good, the note is good to the ears of the man of God, it doesn't mean that God is accepting it.
Wow.
And I think we are making a lot of mistake. In your preamble, you are saying that some people are play. They go and play for worldly song. Which one is a worldly song? Sufra wonyami the amwa say onyami pa de be ebi adikejawa emanenya wuyo Sauli ambaya Mawurehu Yempire Sufra Wonyami. Is it a worldly song, a gospel song, or what song is it? Hey, Halifax, can you help me?
Well, Ebia, dear boy, you know, a inspiration song talking about prayer. But there are others that also talks about things that, you know, lyrics no be no more druka crying to me about radio, so that is what they are talking about.
But unfortunately for us, what is a gospel song? A gospel song is a good news song. It's a good song. Gospel means good news.
Okay, into Upatre say either the person plays outside the church in a club for other musicians. Once, or you know, he brings that professionalism into the church.
That's all. There is nothing called gospel instrumentalist. There's nothing like that. So once he's a professional instrumentalist, that he plays the keyboard to feed his family, you can't starve him in the name of the Lord. You can negotiate payment, but you can't say he's playing for the Lord. Not only instrumentalists or singers. Praise and worship leaders must be paid. That's a thing.
Counselor, what about those who say this is service to God and the church?
Every service to God and the church must be paid for. God is not a poor God. He paid everything that, you see, Bible says that the devil finds hands for the idle hand. You know that? He finds work for the idle hand. I am a praise and worship leader of my church. And that is what I do for a living. How does God come and feed me? Bible says the gift of a man who opened the heart for him to the heart of kings. It is service to God and his church. That is why we give offerings to the church, not collection. So if you are a praise and worship leader, you are an instrumentalist in the church, you should be paid. And we can invite any other instrumentalist, a trumpeter, a saxophonist, a drummer, to come and play. We pay him and he goes. Even though he's not a church member. You can go and play Friday night Amachi Dede sports or Amachi Dede song. Sunday morning, come and play for me at church. It will not affect them. In the dispensation of the law and in the dispensation of the grace, you should be careful. Because keyboard we use,
Mm-hmm.
and the keyboard that supposed worldly people use are the same. The F key we sing and the F key they sing is the same. Have you heard Kwame Eugene singing gospel song before?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Kwabena was a gospel singer in the church? Have you seen that our attitude have caused all the good singers in the church to start singing worldly songs? Have you watched video clip of gospel songs in our country? Shabby, aimless, misdirectional, no focus, as compared to worldly songs, which you call worldly songs. Have you seen it? We have associated poverty to anything godly. Every singer must be paid. It's very sad that choristers buy their own uniform in the church. Very sad.
Why you think? Adam, you think? Say, sorry, I am pam uniform, Monsieur Choristers, Anna.
But for Halifax, what do you mean? I have a group in the church,
Uh-huh.
and I call it church choir.
Okay.
1, I don't pay them. 2, I don't feed them. I don't transport them. They come for rehearsals Wednesdays, Saturdays, and minister on Sunday. When there's a program, some of them have to leave their work and come. You say they are singing for God. Yes, I understand. When you want to rob them, they buy the uniform and they pay for the uniform. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about? How many choristers, when they are getting married, get the auditorium for free? We all pay. At best, the instrumentalists want to see is our group member, so they come and play for free. Because they are playing for their group members. Are we paying our choristers? No. Are we paying instrumentalists? No. And when they don't come, we curse them. God will punish us. He doesn't have transportation. And you are speaking bad. The praise and worship leader, you don't even care about what he wears. You don't care about what he eats. I work. Well, Halifax, one of the ordeals of my life. I've been leading praise and worship since I was 11.
You, who look was here?
Oh, ask Abraham Lante. Reverend Abraham Lante, ask him very well.
Because Obia send the message, say your intro had some good vocal delivery. Some people will say, then why would you man?
Ask Joe Metal.
Hey.
The biggest Shabbat conference in Ghana was held by me. Check the records.
Really?
I think until today I sing. But I'm saying that we have neglected the ministry of singing and focus on the ministry of the word. But the Bible says that in the last days in heaven, the ministry of the word will be folded up. But the ministry of music is what will come up. We don't take care of them. Look, when sound is bad, microphones are bad. We don't care. But when there's a special microphone for the man of God, the sound is clear for the man of God. But for the singer, he's struggling to lose his vocal cords. The man of God is expecting that every song that he lifts up on the pulpit, you should know how to sing it. When you don't know how to sing it, it's a crime. People are now managing MCR. Nobody minds them at MCR. When the scripture is not coming out early, the man of God says you are destroying me and delaying me, and they'll instruct you. But when you give him a computer, he cannot even do anything about it. The church workers, if we don't pay them, we are becoming evil in the temple. They are Levites. We should pay them with a tithe. Pay them. Pay them.
Counselor.
My brother.
You spoke about professionalism and, stuff like that. What about the worship itself? Obibeka said leading worship is an art of worship. So we are bringing God more than a song. We should look at the heart and the intention. Why should we pay you for leading us to worship God? Simply because you were playing...
Bible says man looks outward. God looks what? Inward. The worship is not to the pastor. My worship is to God.
If your worship,
I'm leading you to worship.
Good. So if your worship is to God, why should I pay you for worshiping God?
Let me teach you something that we have not learned and we have made a mistake about. Watch it here.
Yes, you.
You can have a chorus leader whose voice is as bad as a crocodile. But in the congregation whose voice is better than the chorus that's standing there. I have met good singers in my ministry. This singing ministry. Do you know Remains? You know Remains? You've heard Remains before?
I know Remains very well from La. Very, very well.
Remains is a brutally wonderful singer and instrumentalist. Remains has a weakness that if you follow his weakness, you lose his ministry. I have sung with people whose voices are better than some people, but they are drunk. They lead worship, and you will cry, but they are under the influence of alcohol. Do you say God didn't check it? God looks inward, man looks outward. So we are playing the wrong key, yes, but he's enjoying his worship. And nobody can share his worship with him. So why are you talking about professionalism here? What are we talking about? What do you mean to give excellence to God? Is he a keyboardist who says I'm a child of God? Is he a keyboardist who's not a Muslim? If he's a Muslim and he's playing the keyboard and so on, we can worship God with it. The church you went to rent for the crusade, you know the last program they used it for Shatawale show, and you're sitting on the same chair. The venue you're having the church service, we just finished a conference there for what you think is a worldly thing. So what are we doing?
Okay, Lutrots.
Are we idolizing everything?
Lutrots.
My brother.
Let's move the discussion forward. Assuming we should agree with your position, say, look, because they are professionals, they ought to be paid. Many churches themselves are broke.
If you don't have money, then don't use instrumentalists. Use your local vocals. Don't engage their services. You can engage my service and refuse to pay.
Councillor Lutrot, yeah, that's it.
You see the other side. Let me finalize the other side. The other side is that there are people that the church has spent money on them to train them. They can use them without paying them. But they can't stop them from using what they came to learn from making money elsewhere. It's like training a nurse under a bond. You are forming the nurse for 5 years. During his working hours, he's supposed to be in the hospital. But he can go and do a locum with the same PIN number, with the same professionalism. You can't stop him. So if I train you, I take you to the, what you call, by Davis place to be trained as a guitarist, as a keyboardist. And Wednesday you are in church. Sunday you are in church. But one day I see you on TV playing for Obini during a Tuesday service. I will not discipline you in my church. You are using your talent to make money, and it makes sense. But they will discipline you for seeing you on Obini platform playing for Obini.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, Lutrot has gone. Anyway, I have Dr. Alfred Adakwe, classical music artist, or an icon when it comes to classical music. Dr. Adakwe, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
You're welcome, sir. And it's an honor to be on OKFM this morning.
The pleasure is all ours. Dr. Adakwe, the discussion is very simple. People who sing in church, or more to you are sorry, and now more bon sing and now more bod drums.
Yes.
One school of thought see a service to God or more is your mummy so more baby radia. Now we radia mina means ya waka. Wa catch ya wa him or throw one day. Other school of thought and says, see, David. We nipa, young call heaven and any knee. Dikakra. And see, let them enjoy on earth before they go to heaven, even if they will go to that heaven.
Okay.
Where do you stand, sir?
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot. I am also a professional musician, you know. So I would like to speak on this matter.
Okay.
I think that personally, in my opinion, I think all the schools of thought are right. None of them and they are wrong. Now let me stand on the first school of thought.
Okay.
You know, I am a Methodist, for instance. Right now, because of my busy schedule, and I am part of a society. My society, you know, the name of my society is Bethany Methodist Church, is Jowulu. But because of my busy schedule, it means to me, time every Sunday, once in a while, I go to church. Therefore, me time nintino me committee me as an organist to the church.
Okay.
Because of one or two things. Now, there is an organist in the church. Or no, whether he is busy or he's not busy, no, he must be there
at all costs.
Each and every Sunday, every choir rehearsal, no, any duty say or and see me the difference between me minister a person is me call a time one may available.
Okay.
But no, it is his duty to go there each and every time. Now time na or no. We don't know at the kura uncle bet to meet in the time no akoye and I see couple for bet to meet in the time no akoye. So to a nyame adwuma no ye there, but because of that sacrifice he must be paid. So because he is supposed to be there. And no one reason. And secondly so etoda sorry be it to me engage you services because they are not almost like organist. And sorry be to me approach you. So we want to poach you or we want to make you an organist. And also so I think that as a Utianica who engage in the services you have to pay him and you have to negotiate because some men now would engage in the service and weekends now they can go for Juma and even weekdays evenings now they go for you until once you engage him you have to pay him. But on the other side of the coin, on the other school of thought, one would say, sorry, be a while. Okoye na ye bedi kan ka kire say, sorry, hanum de yentia instrumentalist ka. And obeti ase no joining. But e be afe no joining ye na, what your other colleagues are benefiting no. Na afe na we near started brace na den na at least mo mai bibi krampo me mfamfaka. But the fact is say e be a okoye in the beginning no. The initial stage and then say yentiaka and a two so etoda na wawa sorry and a usia sinku me say ma sorry mu na misia sinku enti asori no etraini me now etoda wa sorry nim na usia sinku bona afi eti no o bona etoda na hu ni say you are giving back to the church. I'm making a small point. I know there is not much time. Enti asori no now uwo mu na usia ye na yemfa ne say ode eboa Ode o talent nebua. Now at that point now ode o talent nebua no. Ebia you didn't talk about money. I would say eyana from the initial stage, you know. At that particular moment now hunu bona nebia only omo be negotiate to say no me hunu bo but eyana many time it is mo person menya time ba asori na me say bia and your mama me bi ba eyana ade ne ya wo de no a after na we hunu bona wudi din ntino you start playing for free. And the afei na ade na ka wo mo ho no. Na afina obeka se na ade na muntu ya meka eno no saa no eto da sorry na so to me dwe hu se yema allowance but e be allowance na enye enough for you hu enti eya na there are many diverse ways to the whole thing and you know the other school of thought no almost you're right in the sense that sorry be wa yentia instrumentalist ka and once you know that this church ni yentia ka no and eto da so awa organist bi so to me to ne hu esi ho se me de me boyi Meye amanyame enti mpe aketua bia. You can't blame that organist say adentina on diska. That is his personal decision. It is a whole person with diska bia. Then you go to a place where you will be appreciated and you will be paid. That is my opinion to the whole issue.
Interesting. Doc, ebimusu say because most churches into instrumentalists kajeno, they do not get the best of the professionals as far as instrumentalists are concerned.
Because the church, especially I'm speaking as a Ghanaian, and as a Ghanaian, I will always say, and I'm a Christian. The church is not mostly a place for professionalism. Most of the things. Let me land.
Okay.
You get to understand me.
Okay.
The church is only a place for professionalism if the leader is ready for professionalism in any aspect.
Okay.
Church nipa koko or ti projector hokra or projected work. Time or pen or projected work. Because they are not going for omunya imagine some for services of a professional. Because a nyami ejuma. And that mindset na ye dia say it seems a nyami ejuma keke nintino. Yen time pe unless sorry ne yes something very special. Omo ye a very special program. Na de oma kofa ahoho. That is when a yana omo type professionalism. Say the end yen kofa dinosaur because this is a special program. Yen kofa we muno, but the normal church service ne die a yana omo nta emputi that effort to say maybe some advanced country be no. Omo nta emputi that effort no wom. And of course they will not pay that huge amount for instrumentalists that are very professional to come into the church because they are not ready for that professionalism. But if you think that the level I would do, you are a professional and you are above playing for the church and you feel say you must move to the next level, I don't think anybody must have a problem with you. Now you problem you want to say you drew that stage now. You feel say we are professionals and we must benefit from our talent. No. Now, sorry, so but disturb we and then our talent now won't bomb sorry na blah blah blah. But meanwhile, you are also not ready for the professionalism. You can't talk instruments because you are enhancing music now. You are not ready to buy because you feel that is where I think the problem is. I don't know whether my point is very clear.
It is very, very, very well clear. You diagnosed the problem without offering a solution. So what will be your recommendation?
Okay, so now my recommendation is say it depends on me. You see, whatever I will recommend will never stand. If I say it will never stand, let me give you an example. If I am a church pastor or I am a leader, and I say me will sorry be a leaders of the church, they are not ready for professionalism in music. There is no way I can convince them to bring the services of a professional musician to bear.
Dr. Adakwe, ignorance. Yes. So listening to an expert like you, they will say, hey, Dr. Adakwe Mukra recommend this, say, I think this is the way it should go. There are many churches the head pastor understands. The associate pastors and the governing board say no. So when people like you come and take a position, and then we know that, okay, this is the expert opinion, then we all follow.
Before that expert opinion can come in, didn't I mean to mean standing on authority to talk so much on this and say, for instance, omoko asofu school, Bible school, they do virtually nothing concerning music.
Okay.
And the effect of though they know the effect of music in the church, they say words no omoko effect of the music are mostly omoko the words. Say be a words na music but omontan discuss the what makes the music beautiful in the church because God also likes beautiful music and it's not heaven and once as of school from that basic na nipa ko training no so one as of school nipa ko di training no onye very particular about the professionalism in music no obey software and obey church leader that aspect no very important to them and I think say the churches must start paying attention to quality of music rather than last time so obi can one prophet please just 1 minute
Flow,
one prophet I meet you know or me person me bonidi
okay
but otaba okay FM okay say he will prefer say a singer be a onye talented but onim nyame ebeba beto nwom wo ne pulpit so a singer who are talented with all the skill out to me bonum ye but unim nyame ye such a pastor you can't go and tell him say this is a professional singer, this is a professional instrumentalist, so let's go and hire his service. He will not understand.
I would say the anointing was he.
Exactly, because no so need the say once you unim nyame na read you Bible na anointing womb no. So only yet them poor okay.
I get it.
That is where anointing to me and said that an advice say any say. So I think it depends on the preference. Mensa Pastor Mensa Otabela. The music on open your man kasa.
Oh no, above violin crowd, sorry.
Well, Otiani musicians Otiamunaka full time because and to say we are musician now we are lucky to be under such a pastor. You benefit. But we a musician now you are under a pastor not tension and said that encore music so but other things are. Then it means it is you the musician's choice to either be in the church or play outside the church, whatever you decide to do with your life and the instrument you are playing there, I think nobody has the right. And no your problem. See, you call outside the church. Nothing no more disturb you, and our talent away, and our boy sorry them, and no dear, it is so uncalled for. You have to leave the musician to decide where he wants to go. That is it. But you, the musician, dear, baby, I think there is no, it's not a sin to change churches. It's not in the Bible. Say, we change sorry, and now come sorry, I won't go heaven. I don't see that in the Bible yet. Yes.
That was Dr. Alfred Adakwe, the maestro himself. You ever das here, Nano? Okay, FM das. Okay, FM das. As if that was the voice of Dr. Alfred Adakwe, classical music artist, experts in music and theory composition. Mami come in studio too. David Ashon.
Yes, bro.
Vice President, Choral Musician Union of Ghana. Member, Ghana Organist Guild. Where do you stand?
Yes, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
The pleasure is mine, sir.
I believe that musicians need to be paid.
Including musicians, some we are sorry, sorry them.
The professionals, because there are some who have gone to school to learn music. Mm-hmm. They have diplomas and degrees in them. That is the work that they do, basically. Mm-hmm. They don't do anything apart from that. And when we go into the Bible, Nehemiah.
What's the Bible?
Yes, I want to support my point with some quotations from the Bible.
Are you?
When you look at Nehemiah chapter 11, verses 22 to 23, please let us see what the Bible says. The overseer also of the Levites at Jerusalem was used, the son of Bani, the son of Asheba, the son of Mattiania, the son of Micah, of the sons of Aspa. The singers were over the business of the house. For it was the king's commandment concerning them that a certain portion should be for the singers due for every day. So, rendering my services in the church, my commitments, my sacrifice, my dedication. You see, people think that the focus is more about Sunday service. But aside that, there are a lot of things that we do. We go for choir practice. Every funeral, you need to be there. Every wedding, you need to be there. When the church needs to travel for a funeral, you need to be there with the pastor. Everything that the church does, you must be there. And looking at this, as Mr. Adakwe said, there are other things I could have done. But I've decided to sacrifice my time, my dedication, and my commitment towards this. So at the end of the day, I need to be encouraged so that I can do the work very, very well. Though I know that the economy of churches is not the same. There are some churches that have good, financial stance and they are doing very well. In some other places too, their economy is not all that good. So they are not able to give, but at least they are able to give something. So it is a requisite and it's inevitable. The musician or the music director or the choir master or the organist of the church need to be given a stipend at the end of the month.
But Mr. Ashon, yes, we are professional, work on school, what you say, but we are sure choice of words, but I have decided to sacrifice. Now suddenly a sacrificial, so the buanya mi juma. Papa. Who sacrificed the boy being so? Sacrifice if you are coming. Now you say yes. With you, you've been selfless. And as I said, it's not just about the professionalism. It's about the heart of worship. Wakuma. And also,
you see, Mr. Halifax, that is why now you could see that in the system, there are a lot of youth choirs and choirs in the system because now most of people are moving out from the church and forming their own choir. Because they don't get anything. And what they even get is nothing to talk about. So they form their own choirs outside, they move with them, and then they are able to, make it. So everybody is moving out from the church now. You see, if they are taking very good care of us.
Okay. Na mo anyame ama mu talent no, adenti na mo ndwin dache. I mean, the ultimate prize.
You see,
when you go to heaven one day, you walk on the streets of gold.
this is the same. This is the same thing. This is the same thing they tell the teachers. Sometimes I go, teachers, don't worry. I'm a teacher. I'm a professional teacher.
Your reward is in heaven.
Our reward is in heaven and all that and blah 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 blah. You see? Yes. We want the reward here on earth before we go up there. Yes. Before we go up there to enjoy.
Goes up there, no.
Oh yeah. Oh, surely we are going there.
Why if you've taken your reward here on earth already?
So they don't get it in there.
You see, and you see why it is very important for
church
the
workers,
the church
especially
workers,
instrumentalists and singers, to be paid.
Yes, to be paid. I want to add up something in Nehemiah chapter 13.
Again?
Yes.
Chapter
13, verses 10 to 11. And that is what you are encountering now. What you are encountering now is not of today. It has been there since. So I want to back it with this quotation.
Okay.
And if you look at Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 10 to 11, it says, "And I perceived that the portions of the Levites had not been given them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work."
The Levite and the singers. Into a boss singers.
This is I'm using the King James version.
In part of my quotation will be why.
Nehemiah chapter 13.
Nehemiah 13.
10 to 11.
10 to 11. Okay.
Yes. In some other Bibles you see musicians. Mm-hmm. Yes. The Levites and the singers that did the work were fled everyone to his field. Then contended I was the rulers and said, "Why is the house of God forsaken?" And I gathered them together and set them in their place. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yes. Because if you look at what Nehemiah is saying, it's not now. It got to a point that the leaders of the church were not taking proper care of the singers and the church workers. And because of that, most of them started fleeing and moving out from the church, doing their own thing. And Nehemiah saw that and quickly, draw the attention of them. That is what we are seeing over here. And he brought them back and made sure that they were settled. What they were supposed to be given were given to them.
Interesting revelation from Mr. David Ashon, Vice President, Choral Musicians Union of Ghana. Ono the okay is idea of Bible mo. Or call Nehemiah chapter 13, 10 to 11. What Bible I also be Nehemiah or Old Testament, New Testament. Just after Ezra, before Esther, Nehemiah. The Bible was so specific and explicit, say, because what's supposed to be given to the Levites and musicians and singers have not been given to them, they've been scattered. And say, Papa Sofo, according to what Mr. Ashon is saying, if your singers are getting scattered and you see them playing in places that do not glorify God, have you gone to read what Nehemiah said? Well, are you giving them their due? Mahu say Helen Oma bo popo say Bastel benya botre. Moma no special still benya botre. Ono no I'll share nkomo bonase. Na menko Nana Eje Amwatin, member of the Ghana Organist Guild and chief executive of Extra Choral. Ono ye nation come say Wednesday. Ne position sisan ya bebre. Naneji.
Yeah, Halifax.
I am say Councillor Lutrot ni mo ya adwen ya penyin Dr. Adakwe. Onye ne patwa.
Yeah.
Onye mo ya adwen. We know say akoti Bible din. Say, it's not about the heart of worship, rather than the professionalism of the song.
Yeah.
And see,
Halifax. The other day, no say me can say, I say it's been an old age discussion.
And
yes. Nansen ya say I was say your bohun komo.
Okay.
Bohun na nyina yen susu nsem no ho ne yen hwese ne etie in the broader picture. To the best of my knowledge, such a matter which is as delicate and sensitive as this has never come up in the media landscape. Some of us have followed media. We do media work for a long time, and yente such a discussion. It's good. Say yeah, such a discussion, and ebema will be on the side of what we all think about, and it's good.
We give that glory to God.
Yes, the Nyamia say is coming up. Me the name sanka cancel to kasa wi na nka so no yapon na obi anko ni fie. But you see, it's rather unfortunate when I hear somebody say musicians or moaketua ewo heaven. Ebi anana ashone kan no ni e ka kire teacher for. Oh, maketua was so a teacher for the ni akabi kakra bi dia ma no.
Na sasa no moboa.
And they cry inside of them. Teachers will go on strike and complain. What do you mean by the teacher Aketua will heaven? It's the same thing they are doing to musicians. And you find church musicians who are poor, rendered poor by the churches. These musicians work here, okay, without mentioning names. Okay, Presbyterian church musicians, Catholic church musicians, Methodist church musicians, Anglican, SDA. Here, okay, mekasi ebeboa Halifax. You ebe. And these people, I want to say this: the very fact that somebody sings in church is not a license to poverty. Why do you think that God gives me a skill as a doctor? I go to be trained as such. And I say I am a contractor in the church. I'm talking about in a church. Now, as a contractor in the church wants to build. I am asked to provide my the architectural designs near the me build about me guys when be and I tender in all these. And I'm paid. The accountant in my church is paid full time, paid well. Plumbers in the church. Oh, mama yes pep no be near see all these people are paid.
Toilet
me da say enu nti na okwa sorry na musician ni ho a big deal in the church. Somebody should tell me I'm lying. And you see, they pretentiously come and tell us on the altar, say, oh, also a musician now, my boy and some it's an insult to God.
Oh, sir.
Listen, the moment a pastor stands on any pulpit and tells the church that let those young people who sit there and play, they can choose not to come and sing, not to come and play. It's an insult to the people who sit there, to the congregation who are listening to him, to the musicians themselves, and to God himself.
Has God complained?
What is the meaning of all these things? It is only in the circle of the gospel that I hear somebody tell the gospel musician, well,
Mebo, let me play the devil's advocate.
Please
so
do.
what's here omo patre say ebia asore no koye ceiling carpenter no obe exert energy no dia body dress agbin plumbing work okay and that from wala to wala sa nyina wem ba sanko die wa be gina wudi we sam miamia wudi we sam miamia dey so fi
Halifax is the funniest joke I've ever heard in a sense.
Wait, you are not sweating? You've not used any energy. I mean, Sasha never be one.
Oh my God, Halifax! If I were, you know what we could have practically done in solving this matter. I say we are Mantem, and I would have just brought a keyboard here.
That is it.
And I would have asked Auntie to play a song for us.
Say about me about.
Oh, Adie bi wo ho a enya hoɔden. Uncle Beka cho yi say doctors for say na say mo anya hoɔden na mo di aju.
David omudi afo no mo
na teacher for sabi teacher for hoɔden be na mo di aju.
Enkwada no.
Sabi nurses hoɔden nurses are striking me boa. Tell me say they carry walantu walansa.
David ebe hu ni.
Tell me say the church pastor who is in my church who is paid close to 7,000 Ghana cedis. Oswa walantu walansa. And tell me say
or casting demon na casting demon and that from sir.
And yes I'm good one.
Na wo dia say me ba dia wo ye ikra wo so aya wo da wo diasa. Wa ba betu nyuma diasa sa wani ensan ye kina e wo ho ka mensan tua wo.
Oh, you know,
tell me.
Like I said, that is the ignorance behind all the comments.
You think it's ignorance talk?
You see, that is why you see in most companies, the managing director of the company, okay, it's if you like, I don't know what I can use you, but
let's have a discussion. Once I help.
For example, your discussion can be about 100 or 1/10 of what your MD is taking. The
Very
MD is not
possible.
carrying the building, but I am not doing. And or the see or the managing your company. You know, it is not about hard work. And as in hard work, say yes, so dear and I say the thinking process of what goes into me that was yes, yeah, da. So I don't know what to know. There's something that people put premium on what or on content, on what the person is coming up with. Why do we make our musicians look like what they do? That's the meaning of all that we are doing. Eh? And you say, "Oh, I say on sweaty." But we all sing our praise. We all see our praise and worship leaders. Say a matter of sweat out. I mean, we see them sing and sweat. You see, so all that goes on here, no. The investment that these guys put in there. One, let's give them the kind of recognition that they deserve in our churches. Okay. You see, he came to I saw a branch and also about do be no kobo so into a tea. Yama during our service no. Na so for no so ni preaching no. This is the same man of God who came to destroy the musician because nido na wakobo no eti. Wa money ye. Yet also for no so preaching na man for order. But we don't find anything wrong with and the churches I mentioned, most of these people are guilty. Okay, what are you talking about? The man is preaching that the people are sleeping. We don't find anything wrong with that. But let the musician play something wrong. The whole churches are them. Why do we treat these musicians like that? These are young boys helping our churches with their creative skill. We all belong to the world of the creative arts. And so if I bring a keyboard here, and I will not be surprised that perhaps from this building to the top there, nobody can play a keyboard or play a guitar, etc. But you will need this one person who has skilled on it. And to skill on those, once the last I will describe it, Bibi say lungu say one way, ye staff na omo here so logo ligi bi ada na bibi ye say ni ade. Whether you like it or not, Halifax, nobody was born from the mother's womb and has this knowledge. You have to learn. You have to skill. I personally have last month, Lisa Hotel. These Nigerians from these musicians from Nigeria, I've forgotten their names. Yeah. And each participant paid not less than $200.
Wow.
So why would I go and pay to better my skill for the church? For Christ's sake, I will not want to do this and go and play for those we call secular. I want to skill and play for the church.
But Nigeria Martin, answer na bema hell na bema to.
Yes.
The fear is that if we go this way, the money will be the motivation.
Then we should stop church.
Hold on. Then it becomes the highest bidder.
Okay.
In Abia, who are sorry,
yeah,
you are good. This is what they can afford. The church next door can afford more. And then they start, if we are making it a bit materialistic money, then we lose the essence of church.
Yeah.
Essence of fellowship.
With all respect, I think that decision is one-sided and is not whole. And I think it's even deceptive by itself. Okay. You see, it's just like any other organization, Halifax. Halifax, let's not, Mama and say, organist, no, you're Christopher. Hey, Christopher. And I sing, and look, let me say this. Sikana yeka somun fenchia is just a formality. I'm telling you. I am telling you that. Because, you know, we play with our hearts. I sing in church, I play keyboard in church, not for that. But in Hiasi it doesn't mean that becomes the focus of what we are doing. Otherwise, then we don't have to sit with our pastors and negotiate. Sometimes they make it look like, also for dear. It's a lie. A deception. And I'm waiting to see a pastor who can call into the show and tell us that the musicians do not have to be paid, but they ought to be paid. I'm here to see that. Nobody can call.
Okay.
You know what? First of all, let's recognize the efforts that these young people put in to make sure that our services go on well. Whether you like it or not, they prepare. Ashon here says to prepare and practice himself. 4 parts. obetena se wesua nyom nyina as if you are memorizing. No wabetena se e dia two keyboard so as whichever instrument you are playing before you move into church. Takes close to 6 hours of preparation, just as my pastor will have to research and read scripture, etc., before he comes to church. Any musician who goes to church and does not perfect his skill, you will see it.
Mr. Martin, let's listen to Helen. Helen!
Yo.
So it looks as if the discussion is generally going one way. So,
Halifax, what wait there 1 minute. If I can just quickly add this one, then I beg you.
Okay.
Let me do a distinction here. There are some of us who are also brought up by the churches.
Very
good. What ya teto ebi asori kro ebi odo ko school. Obi nso wo ho a asori nfa no ko school da. These people are there. However, asori do work school. I think Councillor Dr. Addo require making it clear. It is imperative on you, the keyboardist. Say also be ma sorry enya ho faso. I think it's balanced and it should be so. Now also ayabe fa we through a different president edi aba asori no. Ehun hia se asori no ebe ma we hu nhihye ene wo be kon nhihye mu. Se ne epese no ko. O nso no ye de ye ne bo ho kan tie ne ye nyina ye ntena se ne ye hwe kwan a. Sebi Halifax being such a great presenter over there no say despite do call for training. It does not mean that that's why you do go training na say. I think that there is always a way to sit around.
They be almost training.
Absolutely.
Maybe I father train. Our friend McConney office.
Father intimate can't say we're training in your own trial. I was say or making sure so.
Media no nyanya adwuma Helen Brim.
Nyame adwuma no nkyerɛ sɛ yɛmfa nkɔ hia mu.
Inche.
Yes. Helen Brim.
Papa, you said something. Also, okay, BB said the organist or the pianist made a mistake. I can also tell you on authority say.
No. I mean, on my example,
instead of playing A, no, or play B,
and it affects
it affected because what he did, that is what affected the pastor. It's possible. Yeah. It's possible.
And it's possible.
And 1 out of, because you said something, and he was also saying.
But is it not the other way around where the pastor's preaching rather affected the keyboardist?
No, now on started preaching.
How do you know that? I was giving my example.
and your example.
Yeah, I was giving my example.
He said
and I
something,
said
and you were also saying, I said 1 out of. So let me tell you, as a film producer, when we write the script and we do the drama in the church, because I saw you free. I saw you. I'm a Presbyterian. Basel ni. I was so kind Presby. You understand? Enti ehwa na ye hu ye talent ye the man just as you said, getting to the latter part of your deliberation. Enti what I can say is say me to me enko kire asori ne enkoda na drama. Now at the end of the day, because when it is Easter, we bring something out. When it is Christmas, we bring something out. When it is any occasion, we bring something out. I was able to take this thing to even, to take it to the US. You understand? Because of what I was taught. It's just a home bang for swearing at the mommy. And to me started saying me so me did you me say me did you me did you in a sense say when I went there no and no mommy nya ejuma but not what I was doing. You understand? So what I can say is say I catch you na work no. That is why we have the professional. Yeah, the work school. Why ye ejuma ma safo no? What happens to the CDs? Why can't you be a professional so then you eat from that source than telling me say bia aboso Caribbean na top trumpet no by the time realize no what the trumpet now then e dia call okita as if it's your personal property now they call baby e dey call isua wangasa wo dey ye wa de when you love something passionately no sometimes no money should not be and no say no be di wenim kind for all you know no not pastors no I don't think they don't give anything at all. They give some kind of, I think you know.
Some of them give zero.
Some of them, to be frank with you, some of them are.
You need any cafe program. You need extra.
No. Halifax, can I tell you what? There is a senior musician, just like Dr. Adakwe. Look at the status of Dr. Adakwe. And you find a colleague, like you are saying, I wouldn't want to mention his name. If I had his permission, I would have mentioned his name because you see what yes. Look. This man taught in a school. Okay, school knows but one of the best schools, a grade A school in Accra. Can I mention the school at all? He's the head of the music department over there.
Okay.
grade A school in Accra. So you can think about such a school going into Ihonum, Lagos. The church, before our intervention, was giving him 80 Ghana cedis. 80 Ghana cedis.
20 cedis back on 4.
Men are make a chrom.
And 200.
Debbie, after our intervention, because now Papa no one say, I'm so yeah in your mouse stroke or so, but one of the best keyboardists or organists.
The man is thinking about heaven.
Listen, let me finish, please. Listen. David said, yet in my flesh shall I see God. Yet in my flesh. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 13, he tells them that those who serve in the temple ought to benefit from the temple. The man I'm talking about, after our intervention, you know what the church did? They said, we'll increase it. How much increment pay, you know? 125 Ghana cedis. Men are make the same way. I can mention the church to you.
Almost the 45 cedis can home.
Halifax, mobose.
Now,
so many who are office, and we wait for the person to die. And they flump the whole place with all these so many people in the church. And they say that when we know that we could have saved this man, James can say, don't tell the person that God bless you when you can give him food when he's hungry. Don't tell them the person that God will bless you when you can give him clothes to wear. We go to our churches, and the churches I've mentioned, the Basils, the Catholics. Look, we see our various musicians. Off-white. Or bread.
You know what? Let me tell you this. Meba, you know what he just said.
The all kinds of
because when they go on this kind of, what he's saying, he said when the Basel for any
more advocates say
because like the teachers then no was say but when it just I can't even understand this man because
then
how can you be a musician and then be a teacher at the same time?
No, okay, you ignore them.
The reason why I'm saying that, you know, I catch you what choosing so how can you balance that? How can you balance that? You understand? No, but it is not, you know. That is
Helen, who Patrick say? Oh no. Our two professions. Say about no teacher, na teacher was zero.
Yes.
About no music is when na teacher was zero.
That is why musicians will
continue. He loves what he is doing. For him to wake up at dawn, he loves what he is doing. You can. You do know say obi wa na say o colleague no we yan kwan no dia ra osofodie
edidija edi emunamuna nenam asemo moke it is a popular issue in many churches.
It shouldn't be an issue. Me no say na pay, but why should they pay you for what? Why are you saying say ye mo sika e wo ade ame me chire wo now you didn't even know you have that talent.
Okay.
You didn't even know.
But my economy one by one. My economy one by one.
Yeah.
Omo Patrick say.
Yeah.
Ebi mu wo ho a.
Yeah.
Ejuma we no mo ye full time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they spend 10 hours a week in the church.
Yeah.
With the boomer, that is 40 hours a month or 50 hours. The head pastor or not in the air condition office. Some head pastors don't even attend prayers and worship and praise. After praise, first offering, then they walk into the church like in slow. Now about the preaching.
Yeah.
And that they are all Levites. In fact, Papa, you don't do a Nehemiah. Ebo musicians didn't say Yenchiomoka.
So that is where I also in a way agree with that.
Just as the Bible says, don't push your children into anger now. If you push them into him too much, so won't share year after the survival. There are many ways of surviving.
And Councillor Lutrotis was saying something, and I agree totally with him. And then we say no, and he says no, and I say yes also because that is your talent, your profession. And you when you sit down and then you listen as a Christian, you will enjoy it. The lyrics, I mean, the words alone will comfort you.
Helen Omambo,
yes.
And to say what teacher means.
Yes, my teacher will sound. They should go out there.
No, Nanedia, I'm watching.
Yes.
David, Lutros, maybe some question.
Yeah.
say ye pure abonti I met to me a borias in your mama but me already saying then area saying me I wanna don't tell what is we are saying you be what I mean bosses you because oh then I okay so that yeah that so it's such songs the churches are discouraging their musicians from going to play.
Yeah.
It will be bad say oh you go and play this on the club Saturday night and then Sunday morning you are in church saying
it depends. You understand the kind of
and
music you numuna wo kwa kobo no what story wa ha ebia wa call they have a place like when Addo and Addo not Addo na tomo you were playing this kind of music will be bono because you were nyum bi wo ho asabi to say you see is it kidi or whoever or boss anyum no they have other musicians secular musicians now they play music and when you sit down now to me say we enye wiase nyum enyuma ye dey to ye hofo. So professionally, if you want to go out there to play, you can still go there, sit down behind your piano, your organ, whichever instrument that you are using. You can also pick and then make money out of it because I have given you that talent. No, it is God. At least I have helped you to bring it out. So at the end of the day, I still insist, say, asafo no entumi entua we na ense se wo be chia wo kan so
final question I mean comment I mean beautiful lines no some churches have Bible schools.
Yeah,
the Bible schools train the lay pastors to become full-time pastors.
Yeah,
and open branches for them.
Yeah,
as soon as they training pastors no are they paid or not?
You see, are they paid? They give them some kind of token. Who's like, okay,
who told you that?
As I said, no. As I said, me my Presbyterian, what you want salary now?
But we would
Which Presbyterian church is that? Which Presbyterian church?
I'm talking about Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And
when
I mention Presbyterian,
you don't. No, maybe.
See, no, I'm telling you what I know. What I know. See, and I'm society with them, no, with the musicians, no. It is part, and they have to pay me. Then they have to pay me, so they need not to pay them. Yeah. Let's say you chew biaka.
My focus na yin. Etie for so almost then your comments. But what on Facebook so why Nana Owusu Prince, Halifax. This is Apostle Nana Owusu Prince. Bum. I just want only one quotation which quoted from the Bible that pastors or musicians or instrumentalists must be given pay. Bible stated about portion or taking. Well, Papa no quoting Nehemiah 10, 11, 10, Nehemiah 13, 10 and 11. Okay, so Ricky has answered him. Darrell Emmanuel is watching. Obinswa quoted 1 Corinthians 9:13. Helen Obisi one when ya drain Kweku Santana but Spunky say no, that's not true, Sister Helen. Kweku Santana says Halifax, yeah, if pastors are on payroll, then musicians should be on the same payroll too. If they stop paying pastors, then they should stop paying musicians. So we all do the service to God. That's all. If you're Afra Frimpong, Halifax, the Constitution of Ghana says that don't deprive anybody from economic rights. So I just want a single instrumentalist to sue a pastor, then they learn to pay them. Mavis and so far, Good Friday, Halifax. Good Friday to you too, Mavis. Music is a natural potential medicine, especially for the pregnant with the unborn baby. So musicians need to be paid. Sir, Papa, you see, Chiniboa, please, are pastors paid or are they doing it free for God? Jonas, Uncle, what if the teachers don't make it to heaven? Then I get you and say no, they are bomb. Halifax, you should tell Mestra Dakwe to play us Sanku small. Or unless I'll bring him to the studio. Jones, Uncle, which reward is in heaven? How many of them are making it to heaven? Oh, what's your money now because I have a new view? Belinda AJ, pay church musicians, simple. What do you also think listening to us from home? 030 2243 529 and 030 43547. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Halifax.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, Chairman. You're frozen referee.
You're from the cute very much. Because I'm free as well.
Cute. Morning, uncle.
I think we're a very serious issue for Halifax. Okay. Oh, say I think we all. So we for the interview now, friend. Yeah, they have to say secular music.
Mm-hmm.
the most of them most singers no. You go there for them. And you know the reason why here. And man, condo so better no one be
Yes, our country.
Because of say, you're in channel. What you say? Let me tell you more sorry. Me tell you more sorry. But what I tell my so you too. Go back for Kano. That's what I tell you saying. I'm be. But that's what for the yeah. Look, I think we're a very serious issue. Or you're can you know because I don't want to say no. By the way, I say Nipa we do on Kantano. And on Kantano, and what don't want to say in a media mount. I am going to organize our book. The people who are subpoenaing, we need to pay.
Okay. Ayo, that's it. Ono de ose one mpanyifo no yadne say yentua omuka wan some yadwuma wa sorry them the yentua omuka. Hello.
Hello.
Patrick for us no for free.
I'm Kwesi, please. I'm calling from Hachu, Madina.
Kwesi that's say wa free Pacho Mawanonko.
Thank you. I'm listening to your comments and then I want to give my suggestion.
Yes, sir.
You know, today if we cannot pay the workers at church, then there's no payment for there's no offering and then there's no tithe paying at church. Because a pastor is sitting in his office praying for God to give him revelation to come and teach the church members. And then the drama too, or the singer also is somewhere like paying attention to who, like the one that will teach him. Like he's praying that, oh God, help me to learn it well so that I can play it and then to bless my people, you know. And then if that organist or that keyboarder like come and play the thing and you can't pay him, what the transportation that he has used to come to the church to come and play that thing, so you want him to go away empty-handed?
Thanks, Chairman.
Today, the quotation that all pastors know today is that Malachi 3:10. He says, "Bring all your tithes to the storeroom." But today, if you know, within the week, do you know how much somebody is suffering outside there to get more job to do before come to church on Sunday?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your contribution. Let's listen to another person too. Thanks for calling us from Hachu Madina. 0302243529. Do I have a caller? Hello. Please raise your voice a bit. Mention your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Hey, raise your hello. Raise your voice a bit now. Hello. Yay! Basha Manon Kawai.
Hello, Halifax.
Yeah, it's un capa Manon Ko.
Mr. Baby. I am so full in India. What did you say what you want? And so nobody else on the corner in New York. They may so for your workout, then you know how much them couple. Or I think now my solutions for one what to you more what now I damn out. Yeah, you want one, and so let me come in mind. If you were quite many words, no about solid, year practice not yet. And also maybe cause only one to your man, and you're the baby. No, fine. And you may I didn't yammy. Oh, what to coordinate this car, but who do this car? You don't want to get here, no, yet, and India.
Okay.
India, who's young
here. Yeah, that's it. Hello, and this is my last call. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Halifax.
Chairman.
What call you?
Nyamidia Che.
Okay. We didn't know who's coming 50 down to mine.
Nana, Manunko.
Halifax is very.
Nyamidia Che, it's you.
Wouldn't be.
Yes, I will country me.
Me will be a bookie boat. At the same time, it's about drunk.
Okay.
Let's say, Oko Fasa and Colano, Edumbo Asolim. Halifax. Let's one Chiawanka. Omukoba Bina say Chiawanka on bar, how about your day? Can we watch on no Muja or Momokono? And a transmentalist in the car near the Omo Masoli. It's mentalist. Qua, almost only Jackson, Opasa, and Ujima Upitino. Opa mo asole inspectors nyai within 1 month. Na kwa ni mbeki within 1 month. Be he dey asole ne beye. Young boys dey get no mobile. Ombo maka asole dem ho nyede. Ombesa akọ. Mo do mo be kire before from. Edu pata asole ni ye no sound.
Hello? Hello? Oh no, I'm sorry we lost that caller. Let me round up my discussion. It is 12 o'clock. I have to sign out of here. Ellen.
Yes.
It's 12 o'clock. I have to round up. So your position is that?
My position is that some people also play the whole thing. Equally, maybe also for be like you, Jamaica, it can pay. Hello, equally, yeah.
Ellen. Nana, AJ, I'm watching. It's 12 o'clock. I'm far behind.
Yeah, Alex, fine. You better was for this opportunity. I'm Modiamai. And we will encourage all of our guys, all our choral musicians, elephants. When we are together, you start a union here. Them say major on Kangakra. But also for yes, Munchia musicians, neka.
Yes, you.
Yes, Mr. Halifax.
Yeah.
Well, we will encourage all the musicians, being organists, choir master, brass, whatever, to come and join Komsuga. You can call the president on this number, 0545226006. Or you can get in contact with me, the vice, on David Ashon 0244701488. I want to go over there.
Sure.
Again.
Repeat
the
president,
George Edi 0545226006, and then vice David Ashon 0244701488.
Thank you. I did this to my production team headed by Gloria Obia. She's done so well for me today. David Pablo, God bless you for handling all my social media issues and my calls. And the bereaved DJ Bosco, whose father is still in the mortuary. I think first week in October is the burial. Second week in October is the burial. Okay, I'm the chief fundraiser. And me from back on. Na am DJ Bosco. Thanks so much for listening. May God bless you. As I said in the beginning of the show, tomorrow is a very great day for me. It is the birthday of Gabi Gabriela Mamaga Dugbachi. That's from me, myself, and my brother, Poka Jimanuel Atukwe Klote. We're gonna pop champagne tomorrow for you, Gabi Gabriela Mamaga, and pop several other things. That's tomorrow, right? Okay. God bless you. I'm out of here.